Microphone check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's your favorite icon up in the building. Yes, indeed. And it is good to be here on this beautiful what's the day? It's Friday, y'all. Shout out to Friday. Thank God it's Friday. TGIF. Yeah, we're right here. I'm thankful to be here. We are the City Network. Circle of the Gods Point Six, man. We in full effect. And the network is strong. Want to give a shout out first and foremost, man, and to the creator, the most high, just for life, health, and strength, and for allowing me to be in a space today to do what I'm about to do. Uh and we're gonna be talking just a little bit about, those basics again, back to the basics, back to square one. You know what I'm saying? Back to a place where we should have started in the first place, and that's at the root, that man and or that woman in the mirror. Who you see when you look in that mirror, man. That's what we're gonna be talking about a little bit today. So y'all don't go nowhere. Stick and stay with me. We'll be right back right after this message, man. Welcome to the Red Room. It's your favorite icon, the Icon 6. What's up with it? What's up with it? It can be what it can be. It can be what it can be. Welcome to the Red Room. Red Room. Silence ain't nothing to a done. I do this like sometime having fun. In the back of my mind, I'm glowing this. I'm showing this. They never knowing this. They thought I was gone, but I didn't. I resurrected from the game and let it go. Still from the city, 4 pills, bro. Parkland coat, that's the land, bro. But motivate the city. 4 pills, that city, crown jewel, you know we with no. Yeah, the beach is right there, Pepper Park, what? Side Bridge, yeah. What you want, yeah? Yeah, we own that deal. Bring the flavor back. Take that murderous shit, we can take it back. We need more love and unity. Bring the city back to another frequency. Let's go up in this bitch. It's your favorite icon, man, and we're back, man. You know what I'm saying? That was just a snippet right there of one of my songs, my creations in lyric and thought expression. The track, however, was a track that I found over on YouTube. Man, shout out to YouTube. Shout out to StreamYard. Shout out to all of the social media platforms that I get to operate on with many of people's. I'm very thankful to be able to do it in the way that I do it. I want to give a shout out to some of the networking partners. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to J Paul after the break with J Paul. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that brother and the work that he's doing with his networking and the friends and associates to what he do. Very thankful that the brother allowed me to meet some of his people. So shout out to Uncle Lee, Uncle Jerry, excuse me, and brother Kenneth for sure. I want to give a shout out to Queen Black Radio, Black Roots Media Entertainment, Hidden Gems from behind the avatar. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to the Queen Black representing Maryland, DC area. Want to give a shout out to Empress Orange Goddess Supreme. Softer life. Softer life soon come. You know what I'm saying? Soft girl era to softer life. Consigliere, that's what she is into. Got some moves that's coming up, some international things that's coming up, international content, and also an international link to those that is here in the States or abroad, that wherever she's located, she definitely will be setting the tone for making sure that you have a link to there and any other place she may network and lay root. And I think that's what time it is for us. So shout out to her. Shout out to Miss Cheesecake, Hear Me Out Poetry. Yes, yes. Amongst other things that she got going on out in her in her spaces, a networking partner, a person that I respect as I respect them all, and many others. So I'll just start with that, and I'm just relaxing because I got about maybe 30 minutes worth of whatever I'm gonna be talking about. Um, and then I'm gonna shut this down. But I think it's critical at this point, you know what I'm saying, that I come in and talk about a few things as I'm building up what I'm trying to build up in these social media streets. I'm trying to make sure that people are aware that I'm here. I'm doing content. I'm coming out. I'm doing the reels. I'm doing shorts. I'm doing lives. Shout out to Stream y'all for the opportunity to multi-stream when that time come or be able to stream to different platforms. We definitely appreciate that. What else we got? And I'm saying to the people, in order to build anything, in order to build anything that is worth anything, you know, we have to, or at least in my mind, we have to understand the root of what it is, the essence of what it is we want to build. We want to know, like, get into your own mind. What do you vision? What do you imagine that you're trying to build? You know what I'm saying? And building has a lot to do with character. You know, your character is going to play a part of how your building is going to look. You know, your building could be a structure, or building can be um a physical structure or mental or spiritual structure. Building, you know, so we want to make sure that we understand the layout, what has to happen, what needs to happen in order that we can have something that is noteworthy in our building, even if it's conversation, how we build conversations with one another. What are we trying to relay to each other? What are we trying to connect with in others? You know what I'm saying? Are we, because you know when we talk to each other, let me get this clear because that's a lot going through my head right now. But whenever we talk to each other, you know what I'm saying? It's a form of programming. We're sharing informations and the experiences that come from the information that leads us in our thinking. The thinking grabs it, and the thought of whatever it is starts to direct and manipulate, influence, or whatever the case may be, and then we move into action. So when we're talking to one another, based upon wherever your mind is at, whatever your degree of understanding and comprehension is at, you know how much of control you have, what things that really matter to your heart. I just had a show last night on Stereo. Shout out to Stereo and all of the people over in Stereo Land, man, that came out to see a brother BC and all of them, all the brothers and sisters, man, different people that come. And yeah, matters of the heart. What really matters to your heart? And so as I was getting on that subject matter, I was like, dang, man, you know, it's a lot of different things that concern me. Things that was of no concern maybe when I was younger, but through some letdown or through some success, whatever the case may be, it caused me to remember that experience. You know, so for me, one of the things I want to say to people, whether you agree with me or not, whether you accept this position or not, until we truly understand the different levels of what we have been attached to that does the thinking for us, meaning we need to know and understand the social constructs, the social engineering, the psychology that goes behind, you know, the system that we live in, meaning the idea of where you're at. You know, how did it come to be? What is the root of it? What is the essence of it? Who are the players in it? You know, we participating in things that we didn't authorize, but since we're here and we're living up under something or within a structure that we didn't authorize and don't seem to have no power to suggest and even give direction to, that always ordering us, always telling us what it is, policies, and that really just takes advantage of its people. Because I want that to be one of the things that we focus on too. I'm not here to rile nobody up. Let's get this straight. I'm not here to rile anybody up, to get you upset and get you mad, so we can go on some kind of attack. No, I'm here to say let's open up an open and honest conversation, man, about the problem. And the problem ain't outside of the self. The problem is within the self. And we need to address these problems. And I know it's problems because most of the time when you find us complaining and or making excuses or judging and pointing fingers a lot of the time. And there is only a small majority that actually look that man and or woman in the mirror, that know how to stop pointing fingers and turn, what I'm saying, that finger towards itself, that who will actually summon the courage to take responsibility for their own involvement in a lot of the things that they find themselves in, and then hold themselves accountable by making adjustments and change that we can do something better. These are the formats, the standards that is applied to me, and it's applied to everybody, whether we want to accept it or not, whether we come from the same school of thoughts, which we're gonna get into too at some point, about these things that we hold so dear to our heart. Your religion, your political stance, what school you went to, your degrees in education. We have so many different things that cause us to be, in our mind, to be different from each other. Language, constructed systems that we live under, whether that's communism, whether that's socialism or capitalism, they all have functions. These systems that come out the mind of men, right? And so people be talking like, man, we got all these problems. Look what they doing to us. We don't get no every group of people identified up on the nationalities, right? Or up under the color scheme. My word and challenge to everybody is, how did we become these colors? Why am I called a black man? What's going on with that? Am I really the black man, or was somebody else really the black man that's called a white man? Or was the white man, or is the white man really the black man? What kind of mix up is going on? How deep are you and I into etymology? Do we even understand the words that we speak? We didn't create them, we didn't authorize them, but they are taught to us. Our language. And when we want to investigate our language, they send us to places like what? Merriam Dictionary. Mhm. And if you don't have any formal reading skills, you remember, you can imitate language. People talking around you formulate, you learn how to speak, and you can say all the words that they saying minus understanding of what you saying a lot of the times. Because half the time people talking, we don't know what the hell we really be saying. We just go off of a fixed program. And those fixed program, if not challenged, if not changed, if not upgraded to something better, by finding the root of the natural way of understanding and the natural math applied to that understanding to get you in a better place, then we're going to continue to fail. We're going to continue to hear people talk about crime and why we need more police officers and this, that, and the other. You're not trying to eradicate crime. Who's really trying to eradicate crime when crime is a big business? You don't want to see the prison houses empty. You don't want the hospitals not to have patients. You don't want people not to have some kind of condition and or another where they have to stop buying medications you don't want that. You don't want people to learn how to garden and go to the earth and grow their own food like they used to, because you don't want to shut down the supermarket. So what kind of games is really being played here? And why in our society, and what is called society, why do we have all these different people that have these different thoughts uh processes? Some thinking they're superior to others. Some feel like the whole earth belongs to them and nobody else. Some feel inferior. Whatever the case may be. Why is it like that? It has been scientifically proved, psychologically as well. If two babies came out the womb, matter of fact, let's do it like this. Since we have this color coding and identification chart, what's a black man? What's a red man? What's a yellow man? Brown man? What's a white man? Okay, these identifiers. First and foremost, we need to understand where that come from. Was it always in existence? Did people always move to that? And if they didn't, how did it come to be? And if they did, how did it come to be? We need to start asking the right question. Say, knock and the door shall be opened. Somebody answer the door if you really knock. And if you're knocking on the door that won't open, it's somebody either on the other side of that door that know you coming for some answers and ain't really got nothing to give you, huh? Or there's nobody behind that door. Okay. But these are some of the things that, I discovered while I was doing time in federal prison. When I had actual time to think about things, at some point I had to start thinking about some things. The origin, you know, what was the core, the line that led me to the place that I was in with a 34-year sentence? How did I at 19 eventually get caught? Because it wasn't the first time I got in trouble. But this time, that trouble, minus comprehension, knowledge, information now, and what to do with it. Because I was thinking, I was talking, I had feelings, I knew right from wrong, but I don't understand the system clearly. And my best thinking, as Brother Sean would say, my best thinking led me to a place where I'm sitting here with a 34-year sentence, not knowing if I'm gonna be able to get out, not even believing that it happened to me. As if I didn't do what they call commit the crime, because I did that. But I still couldn't believe, because in my mind, you gotta have proof, right? No proof coming to the courtroom, all circumstantial hearsay, um, information. You have to go from a actual charge of armed bank robbery to through a superseding indictment to come back with a conspiracy charge. Judges that didn't want to take the case, and then we ended up going to a case in a whole nother county from the county that I was from. So everything about that, but I'm not even complaining about it, because I'm thankful, because through that whole ordeal, I mean, I paid a heavy price, you know, not the ultimate, because I'm still here and I'm grateful to still be here, that I can tell my story at least. I can put it in my digital imprint. I can share it with people around me, and people already know. I'm not an agitator. I'm not trying to incite people. I think that every person has the right to be informed and to know if they want to, if they desire to do, then if there are answer, if there are conversations that can be struck up, let's do it. And to those in power, you know, you've been in power for quite some time. Families, the families, and you know, the centuries of power. Ruthless power, unconcerned power, m- confused. You know, malicious, animalistic, savage, dragon-like power, no compassion for the people. You know that there's a price for what you're doing. You know this, but you had to do it anyway, because that's your nature. The laws that govern you, it's hard for you to come from up under that and do right. See, in the grander scheme of things, you would have to believe, if there is good, there must be a bad, right? If there is a up, there has to be a down, right? Right? I mean, to think against that, will be insane, right? Maybe, maybe not. But what I'm saying is, to those who are behind the scenes in the shadows, maybe right in front of us, but still in the shadows. Because again, there are some people in this world, man. You may catch a glimpse moving here and there, but in the reality of things, they don't function where we function. These people, they don't. The people that we see are people that's on the board, that's on the grid, that's in the matrix, sentinels. And just go back and watch the movie The Matrix, and look at Morpheus and Neo and the Oracle and all the different characters and things that was happening inside of that movie. It's the same thing for us. Everybody's playing a part in somebody else's vision, somebody else's imagination, somebody else's aha moment. See, Christopher Columbus and them had a aha moment. They came to the shores of this land and found people here moving and thriving with civilization. And all of a sudden, in less than no time, them people became savages. when there were actual writers, and I need to go get the name of that person that was writing. I don't know if he was a preacher, uh, a pastor of some kind, or a clergy of some kind that was jotting down notes about what they had encountered as they discovered. They didn't find they as they discovered for them, because the land was already discovered. There's already people there. Okay. You need to know who Columbus was. Like, we need to understand what was his roots, who was his people, who financed this trip. How did they end up way over here from Europe? We need to understand what was the dark age really about. I mean, we got all these different stories and stuff. Let's find and sort through the ones and let it make sense, because if the story don't show how we got in this position, what slavery could have happened at any time on the planet, anywhere on the planet, with the different varieties of people and certain methods that were applied in those things. How did that happen? Who caused it? Because at the end of the day, through all of the talking, how do we come back and make it right? So those in positions of power, there has to be a real reset, not your reset of your systems to further dig and sever the minds of innocent children. Y'all know y'all is out of order. That's why you're trying to make babies. You're trying to plant them and make them like cabbages and watermelons. No souls, robotic. Because the human species, when it stay out of order too long, it's consequences, and you know that. So people are bound to wake up. Well, we're up. The sleeping giant is up, and you knew that was coming. So there, but again, how many more people? How many more servants of the Most High got to come and tell people about, you know, about the grace, a period of time for you to repent, as you call it. Turn back from your evil. Challenge the evil within your own self to do right. Because whether you do it or not, you're gonna be forced to do it. I'm just the messenger. You know I was coming. You know I was coming. And it ain't just me. It's a world of us coming from all over our galaxy, man. It's time up. People are tired. You don't trick your own people. Got them out in the streets telling people that they can't be in neighborhoods, they can't be around the pool, acting crazy around people, children, like they the damn police out here. Our police is going crazy. The hell you taking the job for if you're not going to serve and protect every person up under the so-called protection of a constitution? Well, is it real or is it a game? Because it appears to be a game because y'all don't respect it. Who are we sending into these places, and who are the people over these people that's committing crimes against its own quote unquote citizens and privileged people? Hmm? We got this thing going back and forth. One people are the aggressor, and the other people happen to defend themselves against the aggression. Then the ones that's being aggressed upon get turned around and made the bad guy, scapegoat. So we got to get back to the basics. We got to get back to nature. We got to get back to conversations that talk about making it right. Not for retaliation or get back. No, not for that. Not for that. See, everybody gonna be asked to do something very, very hard real soon as this thing continue to develop and unwind itself, the future. Because again, everything within the system isn't bad. Not when you have proper information, proper knowledge of application of information and knowledge, and you can navigate. No, all things are not bad. There are some things that really do need to be eliminated. Yeah. Especially these mentalities that got nature out of sync, out of order, and discombobulated. You can't make nature be something that is not, but we allow these things to happen. And then we be scared to even talk about these things and fear of hurting somebody's damn feelings. until you speak on, like, for me, there could be some things people can say to me, you know what I'm saying, based upon what I understand life to be. I try to stick with nature as much as I can in the simplest of terms. I'm not trying to complicate the thing. It may be a lot of things that I do and say that people don't like or whatever. And they may say something about it, but guess what? That's your opinion, that's your perception. And what am I gonna do about that? I know who I am, I supposed to. But I'm gonna be out here losing my mind, going crazy. I used to. You can talk about me and I'm not gonna say something back. And I might take a little butt whooping, I might give one out. You might knuckle up. What's up? But that's primitive. That's at the basic level of the human side of what we are. You know, the animals gonna do that, and for the reason that they do it, I know why lions and stuff fight even amongst each other. They fight for natural rights, power, position, territory, the right to breed. Okay, but man and woman, on the other hand, damn, the greater majority of us, oh yeah, man, we not even on our lower self. We lower than the lower self. We need to come from the beast to the lower self so we can raise up from that position again and become vertical on our square, standing perpendicular, upright. And becoming that way is not a pretty sight all the time. It'd be a lot of things happening, you know what I'm saying, in acquiring that knowledge through experiences. And some get it, some don't. But if you're claiming yourself to be one of them some that get it, then this conversation is a reminder to us, because I don't exclude myself from the conversation. I'm just the messenger. I got to go back and re-listen so I can get the message in the lesson too, because it applies to me every day, not some days, every day. Okay. So back to the basics, back to that man and woman in the mirror. There are real answers to some of the questions that we have with real solutions. The question becomes, do you really want to have that real conversation and deal with the real solutions to whatever the problem may be? Or will we bypass solutions because see, we're gonna have to discover what's stopping us and hindering us from looking at every possible solution that can make life better for us and understand why we reject it. Most people don't want to have this conversation because they're in some kind of comfort zone or they have an entitled mentality and they scared to let it go. They'll rather for everything else to crash and burn before they give into the truth, the real truth, something that could actually help them and the people. You see, when God starts talking about being selfish and selfless, when we speak about these things from the religious aspect, and people be all high and mighty on their God and all this different stuff, I know I done it, man. You repping Jesus, huh? You repping Muhammad, huh? You repping Buddha, huh? You repping Confucius, huh? You repping whatever you repping, huh? But we only rep the parts that we comfortable with. We only rep the parts that we can easily challenge. But when it comes to that hard stuff, which shouldn't even be hard if you was following God, you got to go through goddamn hell and high water and fighting and all kinds of stuff, just trying to make things more fair on the planes of things made manifest. And that's why our children lose. That's why the prison house is gonna stay filled with the people. Yeah, black, red, brown, yellow, white. They all in there. Men and women, children being born there, children going there. Some children getting sentenced and put in with adults if they still doing. I got to do more research back on that there because I know they still throwing them in there. We got to look at the whole scope, people. The whole scope is all I'm saying. And it starts right here. It starts right here with the self. I'm having a conversation so I can redirect the mind back to the self. I'm not trying to tell you to do what I'm doing. All I'm trying to say is you need to step into the mirror at yourself. I can tell you that, but you the one that got to take yourself to the mirror. You got to tell yourself, ask yourself questions. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And what is wrong and what is right? Why do I do it? What caused me to think that particular thing? We need to do this. If you got any love and respect for yourself and anything that came out of your body in the way of children that have more children that they become our grandchildren. If you have any respect or have anything in your mind for better communities and community relations between people, if you want to get rid of this ignorant called race pride to the point that you want to exclude other people and then dominate and abuse them, we need to eradicate that. When we talking about getting rid of these pedophiles and people that's messing with children, people that's abusing older people, the domestic violence, and every other thing that can come down the line that causes trauma and drama to the mind and pain to the physical body. Outside of it being a natural occurrence that made the body may have to struggle through. I'm talking about intended wicked evilness that doesn't have to happen. I say again, if they really want to do something about it, the same way you send a man up in there and give him a life sentence for some grams of crack. Remember when they doing this here? You get more damn time for selling crack than killing people, man. Yeah, this shit is ridiculous. So that's why we look at it and we were born into confusion. And then we try to make sense of the confusion. How you gonna do that with a confused mind with thorns on your head? How you gonna do that, little Jesus? Huh? How you gonna do that with nails in your hands? You can't use your hands for nothing good for yourself. When you try to use your hands to create and mold things for yourself and your people and the people around you, the territory that you will be in, they tie your hands and nail your hands that you can't produce. Huh? Yeah. Restrict your feet from moving. Gotta have a passport to do everything in here. We gotta monitor who's coming in, who come. We don't want you to be in the world traveling, and for good reasons right now, because a confused mind ain't gonna do nothing but cause problems. We need to be in a state of reform. We need to be formed again or formed. Some of us ain't even been formed, so we can't even be reformed until we get formed. Meaning being made acquainted with your natural self and the laws that govern that. We need to know that. That's true life teaching skills that you give somebody to help them unlock what's in them. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. We got 32 minutes in at this thing. I'm just saying. Shout out to my whole entire family, both sides, man. I love my family. Miss y'all. Can't wait to the next function with everybody. I know there was one that came up. My cousin is a man. That's his name, is a man. Okay, Izzy. His birthday came up, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to his birthday party due to some circumstances, man. Some things was happening with my car, and I had been out that morning. It was hot. I'm driving in the heat. My AC had went out and everything, and I'm, sweating, and it was a lot going on. But at the end of the day, when it was time, I wasn't gonna make it. I know I wasn't gonna make it, and I missed that. But my aunties, my great aunts was there, my brothers and sisters was there, and other family members. Him and my cousin and his wife, and they celebrated my other cousin. So, just things like that. I miss my family. And I want to be around my family. I learned that family means a lot, and you want your family to be straight. You want the younger people in your family also. That's why I be wanting to have this conversation. Whenever I get around my nieces and nephews, man, like I still be seeing them as little children, but some of them are adults, and even my great nephew and nieces, right? Got one for Zari, man. In my mind, like I still see her as a little girl. She's getting ready to graduate from school, man. Sometimes we listen, we can get so out of touch. Yeah, man. Life ain't stopping and ain't waiting. Transition is coming for everybody. I understand those that's in positions of power. You don't never want to have to think that you're gonna have to be in the position like everybody else. And maybe you wouldn't have to be, you know. We still like the ants and the bees and the wasp and every other creature. We still have to have organization what we call community. That's why I say it's gonna be some hard things added to some people. Do you have it in you to forgive centuries of centuries of murder and pillage and all that stuff? If someone asks you to forgive, like if the religious people, I'm talking directly to y'all, especially. Can you forgive the rapist? Can you forgive the molester? Can you forgive the bank robber? Can you forgive the domestic violence person? Can you? Huh? See, if somebody asked that question, that shit would sound insane. What? Forgive them? Yeah, we probably yeah, that's possible. But forgiveness, minus correct adjustment on parts of the transgressor, that they can continue to do the same thing? Hell no. Inside of these communities, the people that need to be protected, oh, all terrorizers that want to cut people life off, make decisions about who can be on the planet and who cannot because we overcrowd. Who gets to make that decision? You don't get to make that damn decision. No, no. Creator has something else and plan for y'all. And y'all got to do the same thing the people in the valley got to do. You're gonna have to turn back to the truth. Everybody got to turn to the truth because the truth ain't playing with none of us. The truth ain't gonna give a damn about your nationality. It ain't gonna give a damn about how many zeros you got in commas in your money. It ain't gonna care about how many trips you don't took. The truth don't care about none of that. Have we not learned anything from his story and your own story? Damn, are we not paying attention? And that's why these conversations are necessary. Listen, the spirit put that on my heart to say, I'm just the messenger. Don't unalive the messenger like you're so used to doing. Take this damn medicine. I think there is a way. We got to destroy white supremacy. We got to destroy any form of supremacy from anybody. And it's gonna have to be some healing. And it's gonna be some killing because some people ain't gonna want to adjust. And I'm sorry. At the end of the day, the truth will prevail. That's all I got for you today. It's your favorite icon up in the building. I had a ball as always. I'll be coming back doing more of this. Yes, I will. Yes, 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 the hell I will. Don't get it twisted because there's more to talk about. And I want to talk to all people. I don't care what your color, creed, nationality, I respect whatever it is you hold on to or what you call a certain thing, as long as it don't hurt other people. I'm not condoning nothing. If you done it, do right. Jesus even told the lady, go and sin no more. But how many more times we gonna come up under it and keep going back and doing the same sin? So we might actually be at our last opportunities to make this right. And I'm saying to all of the men and women who are bound by secrecy, those who swing in a 360 and those who step into a 720. Y'all know it's time for peace to fill the land and to fill our universe. Everything must be realigned. The reset is not your reset for more tyranny. Yeah. The creator, the most high, has need now. Not that the creator need anything. I'm saying this in a way that you will understand it since you want to play God. It's time to relinquish. It's time to relinquish abusive power playing, selling people out for money. You politicians that do this type of stuff in beds and creating these different entities to put people on your own people to assassinate them and murder them because they speaking against the wickedness. How dare you? Price to pay for that. I don't give a damn if you trying to turn yourself into a robot. It's something there for you. It's something there for us all. And that's why, for me, I'm going to have to go with mercy. I'm going to have to go with grace and forgiveness because it was shown to me from the creator. I am not talking about from man. Because when I turned my heart back to the creator, when I told the creator back there, You know, it's a lot of different ways people getting out this prison. It don't been presented to me, but you know what? If I got to do every damn day, I did what I did. My crime wasn't taking money. Come on, man. Do y'all know and understand that man made this here? But if you go get a template or a platelet and you create some money, they're gonna call you counterfeiting. This shit, the money we got is counterfeit. It ain't natural. You can't go find that shit nowhere. It don't grow nowhere. None of that. And then you press the people with taxes and all this different shit. You know, y'all some bullies, man. And the creator is the bully killer, not me. The truth. And if the truth ain't invisible, you know, like I know, ain't no such thing as no ghost. Ain't no God nowhere somewhere with no big head and big hand. You got people thinking this madness. You know what's happening. And those that have been sent to do that work, you can't do nothing to them. Your military don't have the right equipment. You're going against nature. The laws that govern nature and the force that called all that into being. How you gonna beat that? So keep trying. But I'm telling you, I really, really, really believe strongly in my heart. We may be in the last days of opportunity because of these false resets with certain things that's not in alignment with the creator's creation and the laws that govern that. Or maybe I don't know. I'm just saying I'm just a student. I'm still learning. I could be wrong. I don't know. I know what the spirit put on my heart to say, and I believe what's coming out my mouth is the right thing to say, to share. Okay. So we're gonna get ready to get up out of this piece, man. I want everybody to have a beautiful rest of your day. When you hear this, wherever that is, whatever time that may be, I hope you really get into what's being said. And you know, if it sparks some change in the mind, all praises be to the Most High. I want to say this here before I go. If I said anything of truth, know that it is from on high. If I said anything that was wrong or it was an error, know that that's me and my limited understanding. I do apologize for that. I try to give what I can give um, with what I've been allowed to know and experience, and through my experiences, I try to give the actual factuals of that. And I want to say to the people out there, um, life is good. Life can be whatever you want it to be, even up under the circumstances we find ourselves sometimes. Don't never give up. Don't never give up, ever. We'll be right back after this message for our closing statement. For sure. I learned a long time ago that life is really what you make it. If you want life to be sweet, it'll be sweet. If you want it to be tough, it'll be tough. If you lay down on yourself, you just down on yourself. If you make a fool and the fool let you make them a fool, then you got a fool. But when you standing in the presence of the truth, there are no cracks. You can't penetrate the armor. I'm not about that fussing. I'm not about that debating. I'm here for love. I'm here to help the people. Let the angels of death do what they do. Yeah, the messenger. That's right. I'm just the messenger. That's right. Pay attention to the story here. I'm only going to tell it once. Scruffily made. I'm part of the game, but the game defamed me, so I had to maintain, push back on the other side to let them know when it come to war, I'm ready to ride. But not the war you thinking about, that's man-made. I'm on spiritual, lifted nature, then the laws that govern that, that's what it is. I can't transcend, I gotta stand on that. 10 toes down with 10 fingers, I'm all grounded. I see the cosmos open up for me, a treasure, because everything that I invest is nothing but love, prosperity, and joy. Don't make me get crazy in this. Yes, indeed, man. It's your favorite icon, and I'm about to close this up, man. Listen, if you want to find me, you can find me over on YouTube. If you want to get into the kingdom, please go to the search engine on YouTube. Type in the icon 6. That's THE. Hit that space bar ICON with the number 6 attached to it, and come on into the kingdom. When you come in, Step into the house, take off your shoes, you know what I'm saying? You on holy ground, and prepare to have fun, prepare to be entertained, prepare to have some real talk, because we are the city network, which is the mother channel. Shout out to that. We also have the little fighter plane called the Circle of the Gods Point 6, which is my vehicle that I use to break down social constructs and social engineering. And please subscribe when you come through the door, man. Subscribe, man. I need support. I need people to help me push this here. And I'm asking the people, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna continue to do the work irregardless. But I know it's time, and I know it's people out there that feel the way I feel and is thinking the way that I'm thinking. It's time for us to regroup and do something that's gonna actually benefit us. And it's just like the time when Moses uh had to lead those people, man. They was out there. Some of the older ones, they got all this grunted because they was in the wilderness. God had to leave them out there for a long time to weed out the weak ones, to weed out the complainers, to weed out those that wanted to be difficult when it came to making the proper adjustments for the whole of the family. So God, look how the creator make these things happen to all of y'all out there be screaming that you want God and you believe in God and you following this and that, then the other. Well, God gonna try you with something, not no easy thing, to see if you gonna buck. To see, do you care more about yourself than everybody else? Not saying that you shouldn't care about yourself, but what I'm saying, when it comes to the greater good of the whole, will you be selfless or be selfish? Because God can't use you in the kingdom if you selfish, icon. And you're right. And you sure enough right. Who you gonna feel, the creator, or feel man and woman who out here scared to death? Who rather settle for mediocrity in this man's world and have nothing? Don't even know how to navigate this system. We don't. And I'm a part of that. But I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do what it takes. And I know that when God show it to you, it's gonna be right. Especially if it try you and challenge you. Anything that would try you and challenge your mind, look at it for real. That's gonna help you grow. Yeah, it's the philosopher. Keep your head on a swivel. It's dangerous out here. But take yourself at all time, because you got the right to do that. And use your mind, because if you don't use your mind, somebody else will. It's been real, y'all. It's your favorite icon, the Icon 6. Make sure y'all hit me up over on Facebook. Facebook jumping right now, for sure, for sure. Ronald M. Smith. Come on, get with me over there on Facebook. We got clips, movies, comedy, and much more. Yeah, we building a community, and we're gonna build it right with God's help. Peace. I'm about this thing, man. Yeah, yeah, and yeah.